Why their timeline is none of your concern. Let's be honest. None of us wanted to be here. If we really are honest, none of us want to be here, but they stay bearing a grudge against their own lack of accomplishments, and we're the ones who have to pay for it. Their timeline is their timeline. Your timeline is your timeline. You are seeking the least possible amount of pain. They've held a grudge at their own lack of accomplishment, so wherever they find means to do it, they'll invoke this Christian God of theirs who is all so passive. And if actually works, will make it so that, oh yeah, in the end, I was just preventing you from doing this and this and this. I was just preventing you from doing this and that and this. Let's hope so, G. Let's hope so. Because, now, after all this lack of functioning, they've jammed their fucking toilet paper rolls and their shit-infested brain sacks into your own mission. Now, all of a sudden, they don't have time to do this for you. They don't have time to do that for you. They're still impregnated with the thoughts of being fucked by their favorite politician. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. They still have time to have gay sexual fantasies of being fucked by their favorite politician, and they're jamming their toilet paper rolls and their shit-infested brain sacks all over the place. Not just for you, not just for me, but in such a like socially unaware of any kind of rule of engagement protocol. Your life isn't socially acceptable as it is. Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. Your life isn't socially acceptable as you want it to be. What we've been talking about as long as I've been on this, I just saw we crossed 2 years on here. 2 years. I'm so grateful, right? Thank you so much to the ones who keep listening to me, to the ones who keep putting up with my irregular posting schedule. I'm so grateful for everyone who's contributed. I'm deeply, I'm really grateful because you actually listen to me. You know more about me than this fucking system has pretended it shares any kind of stake in. Right? They're all out to use you. I guarantee you, and I've told you, there's no such thing as a good person. I've told you before, there's no such thing as a good person. There is no such thing as your mother or your father. The moment you were born, you just realized hungry, happy, sleepy, needs to shit, right? That's about it. Then the older you grow, needs to have sex, and then somehow, by some trauma-bonded mission, repeat the same vicious carnal cycle upon your own young. That's all you know. The majority of us have been able to fight that off, and I'm glad this world's population is plummeting. It needs to keep plummeting back to like 3 billion. 3 billion sounds great to me. Right? And with no sort of evil intention or evil mwahaha, where the deep state government mwahaha, right? Let me say one thing. These women empowerment seminars and courses have cost society detrimentally. Is that a word? Detrimentally. These women's seminars and women's empowerment and times 10 Grant Cardone super shows have cost society detrimentally, because at the end, they don't care if they have to be selfish upon you. They'll be like, hey, just let me be selfish upon you, right? That just makes sense. I bargained for these, right? They're like, let me just, when I was growing up, it was more of like you as a child are supposed to be a doormat for society and for your parents. Now, you as a child are supposed to be a pit latrine for your parents, right? Really upgraded there, didn't we? You as a child, you're supposed to sniff their shit and sniff their asshole, and you're supposed to know the ongoings and the inmakings of their assholes. Mind you, these are like the biggest fucking gay sex procurement officers you'll ever find. Because they're blaring it out every single day. They need to be fucked in the ass. They need to be fucked in the ass. I don't know you. And by your own logic, by your own victory, your own God doesn't know you. Just look in that bloody book. That God doesn't know what you are. That God only knows what you've said yourself to be, and you decided to go ahead and make the bet, right? The bet. Because there is definitely an overlap with incumbent homosexuality and betting. And betting, right? We're not here to fucking suck you off and fucking hear your testicles clapping being fucked by your favorite politician. We're not here to see that. We're not here to hear that. We're not here to see the porn rendition of that. We're not here to live the society version of that either. Right? We're not here for it. We're not here for it. We're not here for it. And you may not think your voice carries far. You may not think your voice is important, but it is. The moment they get any sort of pushback, they try again in like 3 days. They try again in like 3 days. They're literally mocking their own God on the cross, saying, ha, we crucified you, so we worship you. Ha, we crucified. Right now, I'm dealing with personalities like brain tumors. Because they are brain tumors. Let's be honest, bro. People decided to be cancers on the planet. Now they have to get cut off. Either have to get cut off or succumb with the vessel that has decided to be the cancer. Your gene pool is insignificant. It's a sewer fest. Your parents aren't even from where they're from. You know nothing. You know nothing. Nothing. You know nothing. And I don't owe you anything. If you said this was in the contract, that's what's in the contract. You're not going to come 7 years later to contest. Or, you know what? I'll humor it, right? I'll humor it. Contest this contract. Contest what it is you signed up to do. Contest it. Contest it, because a lot of you are being given up to contracts you've never even signed. Right now it's happening. And, you know, we have to look at these politics happening. I'm like, bro, these other people from this country are like not even a long lost cousin. They're just our cousins, right? They're like your third or fourth cousin, right? We don't do inbreeding here, okay? We don't do this incestuous sewerfest fucking, you know, the mechanics of how a shit forms in a human body, incest works. We don't do that here. We don't care what ministry you're from. We don't care what work cadre you're from. We don't care. You had your shot. You blew it. You're an insignificant pile of dung, of horse shit, and you smell. These people need to remind you, you smell, you stink. You stink of shit. And pretending to have eczema and giving yourself eczema and fucking, you know, they're into all of this ideological bestiality shitfest porn. Because again, it's just gargle. They're gargling, they're like backwashed and gargled the excrement of their favorite politicians. And mind you, the people who they're sending to police you are using their bathwater for 3 days and not changing it. They stink to high heaven. They stink and smell of dung and shit and piss. And piss. Bro, they're like, oh, excuse us while we use you as a latrine. You know, this is just normal. I want to see this play out in public though, okay? We don't have time to play these things in private quarters anymore. We don't have time for you to live out your sexual fantasies of being fucked in the ass by your favorite politician. That's the only thing they've been telling us for as long as we've been around. That's it. That's it. We're not looking for you. Nobody's looking for you. Nobody cares who you are or who you were. Oh, you want to start a court case? Well, I guess you fought the law and the law won. The law always wins, kids. And the one thing I would want you to take away from listening to me is the law always wins, kids. The law always wins. A bit later on, I'll definitely get into more of why my child, like, I have a small T trauma, and I'd like to believe a lot of us on here have small T trauma with a small T, right? Big T trauma is like being raped, living through wars, genocides, having to kill people in self-defense. The gory side, like the MA-rated side of philosophy, if you will, is big T trauma. We have small T trauma, and it's very good. You know, you've been disowned. Like there's people who have gone, like I keep saying, horror stories Horror stories are currently being continued and have been inflicted on people without any remorse. There's nothing they will ever be able to do to get back those lost years. And every day we keep being shown that there's nothing you can do to get back those lost years. What's the most you can do? Right now, what's the most that you can do? Do it. The most that you can do is just do it. 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 I am not ingratiated to anyone. You are not ingratiated to anyone. Not one of you here is ingratiated to anyone. Ingratiated? No. 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 And it's the fact that they've never heard the word no enough in their lives. And they've created a system where they've now created little shit swilling brats who don't even know how to put on a tampon correctly, or if they do, it falls out. I'm a male. I don't need to be knowing what the fuck is going on and mind you, over here, we've been against our will. Everything that's happening to us as citizens is being done to us against our will. We know these persons, or we've been around these people against our will. This is against my will. So from now on, Bleakers, I want you to adhere to this one commandment. Everything that is recorded here is against my will. Right? Exactly as I've said it. Everything that is being recorded here is against my will. Why is it that you're the one who has to do all the mental labor? Why is it that you're the one who has to, life is easier in video games. Life is so much easier in video games. You can pull out the revolver, shoot this person in the head, and then keep going. Life is easier in video games. Treat it like a video game, but don't play it like it's a video game. Treat life as if it were a video game, but not as if you're playing a video, because your freedom, your sanctity, your space, your what the goodness that you have brought into this planet, you, the one who's listening and doing something about it, actionably, that belongs here. The rest of it doesn't. A lot of us, to be honest, we're not going to die, right? I refuse to die. I'm like, what the fuck? This is life. I'm going to make sure, as alive as I stay, that every last one of you is going to get hanged for it, right? You're just going to hear the pastor doing the cross thing, and then the wood is going to break from underneath you, and you're going to get hanged from it. The life is going to be slowly strangled out of you, the way you have strangled the rest of our lives out of this system. For no good reason. You think your mother is your mother? You think your father is your father? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. Maybe you didn't grow up with any trauma at all, but you have a kind heart. And so many people I've met have these kind of hearts. And, they're just like, hey, comrade, or hey, friend, hey, human being, hey, this, hey, that. Whatever religion they may propose to be. To me, everyone's an atheist. Until you tell me otherwise, you're an atheist. But once you start going on with these leading question narratives that have never been seen before, I'm like, no, you're a threat and you need to be eliminated. Eliminate any threat that is towards you because you don't deserve it. Eliminate all these threats. Their timeline is none of your concern. If their timeline goes to the dogs, it goes to the dogs. If their timeline lands them in sewer mud wrestling, it lands them in sewer mud wrestling. That's none of your concern. That's none of your concern. Them getting fired is all about their concern. Right? They're going to use your name, your accolades, what you've built yourself. I can't come and do 100 push-ups for you. You can do 100 push-ups. I can't do 100 push-ups anymore. I can't now come and say, oh, I'm your father, I did 100 push-ups. That doesn't connect. It does not follow. To me, it does not follow. 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 And I'm glad we're in this age of AI because it just does not follow. It does not follow, oh yeah, we were in a class with these guys. No, the fuck you weren't. I was in a class subjected to you. And for some strange fucking reason, the one reason I decided to quit academia and quit education, I'm always in the slow fucking class. In high school, I was in the slow fucking class being assaulted by single-digit IQ room temperature chimpanzees Single digit, right? Nobody liked high school. If somebody said they liked high school, really look at that person and look at the level of privilege that they had been afforded to like high school. Who the fuck likes high school? Drug fucking, how the fuck are you 15-year-olds and you're a civilian drug lord? That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make any lick of sense to me at all. It doesn't make any lick of sense to me at all. And now, here we are again being used as a platform for like for armchair imperialism, right? Armchair baby back imperialism. Armchair, like they can only do what's at the armchair, like they're reaching like this. Oh, sorry, I can't get to this shit. I'm still taking a shit over here. I need to take this shit and then I take those more shits. And mind you, these are the patriarchs. Fuck the patriarchs. Patriarchy is great, right? Especially if you know how to use it, if you know what I'm saying. But patriarchs can go suck a fucking dick, as they do suck dicks behind these closed doors. Your politicians are sucking dick. They're sucking dick and getting their scrotums clapped by some other guy's gigantic phallus. Picture that imagery in your mind, because that's what's happening. Europe? Oh, fuck you people. You stood by and watched the world get colonized. Now you want to go meet your American brothers in the West. Now it's all turned to shit. The reason I'm saying shit is because there's so much drought and so many people just dumping. Like, I literally almost died of septic shock a week ago. That's how disgusting the environment has become. It's disgusting. It's not just you. It's not just you. It's not just you. And we can't do our part here because you're bathing in somebody's actual excrement. Multiple people's, right? Don't even think about it. It's disgusting. It's beyond and these are conditions where humans live. You see why now, even in the Bible, the Son of Man said no human is redeemable. If you read that bloody book, it will tell you the Son of Man said no human is redeemable. No human is redeemable. You don't have an admit one to the redeemable VVIP section. No human is redeemable. No human is redeemable. And what's about that? The cyclical psychophants are too stupid to know that they're even in that system. They're too stupid. Being too stupid is an evolutionary handicap that this society has enabled. They're too stupid. Too stupid. And you can't waste your breath on them. Your heart is important. Your cardio. Let me say, your cardio, right? Your cardio is very important. It is the reason why your body can be able to restructure itself. Your cardio is very important. You don't need to be wasting it on people who have brain tumors. They have brain tumors. No, really. You might think you're arguing with someone or you're showing somebody who you really are. They have brain tumors, man. They have brain tumors. They've contracted some viral STD, right? House parties, you name it. All these big... right? Show yourself out, participate, do what? And the worst of them are the ones who sit there and take a shit on the chair as you have to interact with them. Those are the worst ones. They're wearing adult diapers already. They're mentally wearing adult diapers already. Mentally. They're mentally wearing adult diapers. That's why they can't see anything you're talking about. Mentally, they have the Batman adult diapers mask on. That's what they're doing. And they can't even perceive. Or the thing is, they do perceive, but here's the thing. Your timeline still goes well, even without them overriding what they think it is they're overriding. And you need to know your timeline is important. Your timeline is important, and you can find that inner strength within you. If you really want to, it's right there. Nobody else is going to do it for you. If you have the ability, and that's what I always say, if I have the ability to help this person and it doesn't harm me, I'm going to do it. I'm going to bloody do it. Because somebody else probably did that for me or bred you in a way that If you see somebody who needs help and it doesn't harm you, do it. If it does harm me, I'm like, maybe another day, pal. Yep, maybe another day, Sarge. Maybe another day. Maybe another day. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe another day. Take a you day. Take a you day, right? Every time you turn on a Bleak vid, every time you go back and watch my catalog, please go back and watch my catalog. Please watch back. Please watch my other videos. Please. Every time you take a me day, take a you day. Because your bosses are just slave drivers, unhappy slave drivers. Your quote unquote colleagues are still in the slave muck. They will throw you under the bus. If you don't think they will throw you under the bus, they will throw you under the bus. That's a guarantee. They will throw you under the bus. They will throw you under the fucking bus for sure. Your own quote unquote blood and your own kin is doing it all the time. They're doing it all the time. They're thinking of their self-interested. Meanwhile, I have vested interests in my palace. Treat yourself like a king. Treat yourself like a queen. Treat yourself like a king and a queen in the body in which you have been found in. No human is worth redemption. No human is worth redemption. And there's no reason to it. You don't even need a reason to it. Century after century, there's been a new reason as to why there's a reason you need redemption. You need this, you need that. And you've never said you need anything like this. You know, when you're under the care, stay under the care. But when it's come time for you to spread your wings, make sure they stab them right in the jugular. Stab these people in the fucking jugular. Do it. Stab them in the jugular, not with weapons, but with your mind and your words. Don't ruin your own freedoms because other people are imprisoned by their own sewer fests.